What's up, everyone? Today we have a Craftsman 917-370-610. I want to say it's a fairly common mower. I've seen this quite a few times. However, there's some serious problems going on here. There is no drive cable. That could be expensive. The the cable responsible was also broken. I thought I had one that could fit because it requires that little housing to work, or at least something like it. And no, it doesn't. So we don't have a way to really pull on it. So I don't know if the engine's good. However, the deck is not rusted out. The bag isn't in horrible shape. I mean, yeah, it's dirty, but you know, you mow, you don't clean windows with it. So it has that going for it. It has no lid for the gas tank, so I'm guaranteeing that that's pretty much full of just water, and that's always fun. What I want to do is I want to take a zip tie and zip tie the kill so it's in the open position. I'm 100% sure it's not going to run what's on there. I mean, assuming that it is semi-fuel, the fuel is going to be on the top and the water is going to be on the bottom. The person that gave this to me said it's been at least a year since they've used it, which means the fuel probably evaporated out of the bowl and water is just straight up in there. Now, luck just has it, I got a Troy built yesterday, broken deck, motor appears to be fine so far, so if need be, we could remove the motor off that one and put it on this one if we need to. If we don't, then we won't. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead. I'm going to zip tie this closed, and then we will take it from there. Let's give it a pull. I didn't even do that yet because I couldn't. Don't know why I'm using the bail. It should be okay. It's an auto choke, so there's no primer. Let's give it a little spray. See what happens. Well, it runs. And did you see all the rusty water coming out of it? That's gonna be nice. I'm gonna turn on the ultrasonic cleaner right now because we're gonna need it. Okay. I made a video on this before on the possibility of potentially buying a carb is a lot cheaper than having to repair it. So I'm going to do a little research and see if I can find a cheap one, and I'll be back. Fast forward a few days later, and we have the new cable, and I took the old one off, took the cover off. That really wasn't all that difficult, just 1 5/16. Whole thing came right off. Perfect. So it's pretty much impossible, excuse me, to really show you exactly what's going on. Just know there's a bar that's pretty much the same angle as this cutout, and in the bar this hook fits in. The end of it has a small hole drilled in it, and when you pull on the bail, this retracts the cable. So you need to find a way to do that. What I like to do is the other end of this cable is not connected to anything. That's important because you really want to have some space here to work. I'm just going to apologize right now. You are not going to see a single thing of this. And to be honest, I'm okay with that because this is not very friendly for viewing. I'll just put it that way. There we go. But it's easy. You literally just have to look down the little hole, and now it's in. Now the hard part, which isn't even all that hard, is you take the other end, kind of give it a pull, remove some of the slack, and now we need to push this cable into this little area right here. There we go. Now this clips right in. I'm going to attach it and pull on it. Tell me if it works. Ideally I could. There we go. There we are. Now, engaged, not. Engaged, not. Perfect. The cable responsible for killing the engine. The cable that's responsible for killing the engine, it's pretty easy. You pretty much just have to slip it in place. That snaps into place. You're done. The other end, easy enough, so we're not going to get into that one. I'm going to put the cover back on and we'll discuss the carburetor. The discussion we're going to have about this is this. This was outside, has no cap, that we know there's water in there. That is a fact. And we even saw rust get shot out the exhaust when it kicked over. So at the very least, there's water everywhere. So that means that carb, most definitely, 99% has water in it probably. I suppose we could get lucky and have no water in there, but I'm not that lucky. Oh yeah. So that means rust, means very degraded. It's going to take a long time, potentially not even fixable. Even if we did fix it, like I said, it's going to take a long time. Now, I don't technically charge per hour for a majority of the stuff I do. Usually it's per job, because I don't really like to have a schedule, because this is my free time, this is not my business. If it was my business, then yeah, it would be per hour. So, having said that, it's going to take at least 25 minutes to clean that carb, because it's going to take 10 minutes inside the carb cleaner, 3 or 4 minutes to disassemble, brush it off, clean out the goo, stuff like that, and then you have to put it back together, dry it out. Let's say 20 to 25 minutes. That's not including, you're going to need a new bowl seal, and you're going to need probably a new seat. At least you should if you do it the right way. So now, let's say you bought them in bulk. It's $1.50 each. Let's say $3 just for the parts. Let's say that gasket is also another $1 if you buy it in bulk. So now you're $4. Well, for $9, I could just use this. Brand new. Aftermarket. Not the greatest, but not the worst either. I made a video on these. They're really not too horrible. I mean, they're not great, but these are such simple carbs. There's really no point. The one thing I will say though is do not throw away the old one. Sometimes these can be jetted completely wrong, so keep the jet, and you potentially might have to just swap out the jet on the new carb. it's really not all that bad if you think about it. So, knowing that, we're going to disconnect this fuel line. I'm going to have to drain that tank completely and dry it. Otherwise, we are most definitely going to have no starting on a brand new carb, because it would just be water going in there. I might even replace that fuel line too. Looks pretty nasty. I mean, just look at that. Can you see that? Look at that nonsense. It's like white, just corrosion. So, if the outside looks that bad, I'd be both shocked and awed if the inside didn't resemble anything like that. So, hence, pay $6 more, get a brand new carb, and we don't have to worry. I could tell that's water already that dripped out of there. So, yeah. But we are going to keep it, like I said, jetting. This little O-ring is missing. Probably on the old carb. That's okay, because we also have a new O-ring and gasket that came in this kit. Well, not really a kit, it's just a carb. Usually they come with little extras. The funny thing is, some of this aftermarket stuff, the extras aren't even the right extras. I always found that particularly hilarious. Like, you get a fuel line meant for an engine like this when you buy like a carb kit for or a carburetor for like a weed eater. Like, what type do you think we have? And why are you even bothering to send this? You're just wasting your money. You know? This is not wanting to cooperate very well. Grab a towel. I think it's just dirty. And take a little carb spray it on the towel. Tried to save the last video. I'm not 100% sure how much was saved, but it's so there was air, so hopefully all that's there. Let's see here. Carb is installed. Cables are installed. New oil is full, nasty but full. Has a new air filter. About to have a new plug. Blade, I'm sure needs some serious attention, but we'll deal with that later. Let's see how this works. I did also notice that when I was lifting up the mower so I can get a better view of the drive apparatus and gear, that the wheel, this wheel, was spinning freely. That's not normal. That usually means that the gear inside, let me show you, excuse me, is stripped. I don't know how much is viewable, but this is where the drive gear goes, and just completely ate all of it. So it will spin freely, very free, but it won't actually catch. So knowing that, I just put a good used one on. It's really not all that great of wear, but it's better than not having a wheel that turns. If this works out well, then I might just buy a new one. They're usually not that expensive. Let's give it a pull. runs pretty decent too. First pull, that's not bad. I don't really see a whole lot of smoke coming out of it at all, and I didn't see any more rust get ejected out from it, so that's good too. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just run outside and see what we can do, make sure everything's good to go. But other than that, I think we're set. So what do we learn? The cables were roughly $30 for the two. The carb was like $9, so let's round up to 40. I spent about 45 minutes to an hour on it. I'll probably sell this for $140. Got it for free, so $100. That's not bad. The carb, I did take a look at it out of curiosity, and it wasn't all horrible. It just needed to be cleaned, but it did have a little rust in there. Considering this came out of the tank, it's about 90% water, so there's that. Not that bad. I did put a new cap on there. That's a good used one, so I guess if you had to add another cap, let's say another $10, you made $90. That's not all that horrible. And maybe your area this sells for more. Who knows? But other than that, I'm going to leave it at this. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe, catch me in the next video, and follow me on Small Engine 101 on Instagram. Have a good night.